in the kitchen whipping chicken, kind of bread like Kane's. Good dog, got a Mexican looking like Johnny Dine. Eat deep muddy water stick, carry my cane. Right pocket got money, left pocket cocaine.
You got me lifted, feeling so gifted. Sugar, how you get so fly? Sugar, sugar, how you get so fly? Boricua, morena, dominicano, colombiano. Boricua, morena, dominicano, colombiano. Mr. Producer, you make the best shows. Mr. Producer, you got all them hoes. Mr. Producer, you're gonna bring the feelings. Mr. Producer.
Alrighty, and just like that, we can cheers and enjoy. Alrighty guys, and now for the best part, the taste test. Now let me tell you guys that we love horchata, you know, especially because you can make it so many different ways. You can add matcha, chocolate, strawberries, you name it. But I hope you give this recipe a try and enjoy it just as much. Cheers and enjoy. And of course, just make sure that you mix it before serving. But I'm so ready. Seriously, super delicious. It's so refreshing. And you know, you get to adjust it if you want it more sweeter or just dilute it more. But for me, it's perfect. So good. Alrighty guys, and there you have it.
Again, all this is presumption now. It is apparent that the police believe it.
Well,
and that is Cowling's car, and that Simpson is in the driver's seat. We've received a report of a gun in the car. The car is heading north, which would be toward Los Angeles. We picked it up in Orange County. The vehicle is registered to Al Cowling, a former teammate, close friend of O.J. Simpson's, who has been a fugitive from justice now almost 12 hours.
Women by design have hypergamous natures. This means that women are hardwired to mate with men they view as superior to themselves. Hypergamy also states that if a woman senses weakness in a man, she'll look to fill a void with another man of superior strength. Hypergamy is one of the main reasons why women cheat on their partners. And when you understand the concept of hypergamy, it's no longer a surprise that a study found that approximately 1 out of every 25 fathers are biologically unrelated to their children.
When the streets keep calling, heard it when I was asleep. That
wrap it up then.
Over there too. Close it.
Close it.
Hey, listen, man. I wish I could talk to the Migos longer, man. It's one of my favorite groups. I've been covering for so long. I'm glad they succeeded, man.
Hey, man, you guys are nominated tonight. Have a good show.
What are you trying to do?
Hold on. Wait. No. Wait.
Where's the security guard?
And y'all go get checked. And it ain't even about subscriber count. Y'all know y'all go get G-checked.
I would have cashed out 5-6 years ago. Men with a lot more to live.
I thought everybody had you as a side chick. I'm gonna be honest. I thought everybody else had you as a side chick, and listen. In the male community, we know the chicks that's like, yo, that's side chick pussy. And then we know the dumbass nigga who wifes up the side chick. And we're like,
so what makes me a side chick? Because I'm beautiful? And
no, because the one who everybody fucks but doesn't wife, that's the side chick. Sorry.
So who have been side chick?
You wrote a fucking book.
Who have I been a side chick? But I was never a side chick.
Well, when you write a book about having casual sex, and by the way, not one of them claimed you. We assume, you know why men don't claim women? Because we have a real girl that we don't want to tell about you. You know that.
You know, do you. So this is going to throw the dynamics off significantly, because if you believe in the 80-20 rule, you have to believe that higher tier men are smashing these girls, and they are. There's no lies here. High tier guys, which smashing them on the regular easily. All right, they're super easy to get if you're a high tier guy. In fact, the other dynamic of this is this woman with confidence doesn't mind shooting her shot at a higher tier guy. And if a higher tier guy just has a slow Tuesday, he's going to smash. And people deny this, but then will support the 80-20 rule. Well, 80% of the men are banging 20% of the men are banging 80% of the women. Well, if you believe that, that means a higher tier guy's banging her. Okay? You cannot believe in the 80-20 rule and then deny it. No, that's not true. Okay? You would have to believe it for it to be true. All right? If it had to be true, if you believe it, that would have to be true. And it's certainly true. But, you know, because...
Could you date a regular guy with no Instagram or less followers without a blue check than you?
I've done that already. That's what I'm saying. I've worn a few hats. Like the guy who nobody fucking knows. I've dated a lawyer. I've dated rappers, athletes, whoever, you know? And I'm like, okay, so where do I go from here? Because it's like people say date down or to date someone who doesn't have this, but I'm like, I've already done that. I've already done that. So the answer is not about who I would date. It's just, I feel like it's more so like, who is willing to step up to the plate? Because real is real.
Right.
Whether you are a 9-to-5 or whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a rapper, whoever.
Can you expand on step up to the plate for what?
Step up to the plate meaning, although I feel like what I do is not different than like what you do, because let's be quite frank here. You said you have 7 kids, multiple baby mamas. I have 1 kid, 1 baby daddy. People look at me as damaged goods. We're not even factoring in the perception of social media because that's already a lot with just having a kid. Then you're adding, oh, she's social media, Instagram famous. Oh, she's dated these types of guys. Oh, she wrote a book?
We're just now gaining traction to what? The mainstream? But the people as of late in the last 3 years, they're not the best at this. Trust me. There's a dude in the basement in Columbus, Ohio, smoking cigarettes that'll run circles around everybody in this building. Every single one of us. All right, anyway. Jones G, let's get to
Oh my God. Oh my God.
We see the shell plating blown off, decks, everything kind of settling around it. Looks like a big airplane crash site. Bada bing, bada veering to port, go 22 knots, sideswipes the iceberg. Murdoch ports around the iceberg, try to keep from hitting the propellers. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now we're watching an accelerated time. We see the first 5 going. We see the port list. Port list looks right, now looks like about 9 degrees.
Hello everyone, this is your Daily Dose of Internet. This random tire was traveling.
Life, I've never used the expression game face. I have no idea what it means or what you're supposed to do. In my entire adult life, I've never used the expression game face. My entire adult life, I've never used the expression game face. I have no idea what it means or what you're supposed to do. In my entire adult life, I've never used the expression game face. I have no idea what it means or what you're supposed to do. my entire adult life, I've never used the expression game face, so I have no idea what it means or what you're supposed to do. In my entire adult life, I've...
Free throw shooter will have the honors shooting the technicals. Looky here, looky here. Bobby Knight is through his chair, clear across the free throw lane. And I think Fred unbelievable. He picked up another tee. And now Fred Jaspers is called for athletic director Ralph Floyd.
Talk to us more like Umar. The Prince of Pan-African. Big Papa's in the house. Run my donations. I mean, shout out to Umar. I got no problem with the dude, but I think it's funny y'all keep coming over here asking everybody to talk like Umar. Queen Mother Garland. Cocoa Butter and sea moss gold and shit.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
I'm into child support. We can't support our new family. And these women are doing that. That's in the earliest phase. Then the pickup phase came along because men were struggling getting dates because women's standards had changed. Then men wanted to get laid. These men sold to these groups of men. This is the earliest days. Now, during this time, dating apps started to gain prominence. The digital sexual revolution, right? Bars and clubs were at their on their last leg. So you're having men sitting at home going, okay, this is how I become successful with women. But it's only to get women, not to keep women. When these guys became successful with getting women, but they had trouble keeping women, now you got MGTOW. Now you got the Tinder, Bumble, Instagram. In the next phase, what's happening is women are sleeping around way more. Women are hooking up with Chads and Tyrones way more. Okay, 80-20 rule is turning into 85-15. You got marriage and divorce going wild. Then you're opening up to a new group of people. Then you have the issue of the rise of the alpha manosphere, all of that stuff. PUAs are getting blown up to smithereens. You also have black people taking their voice, making it more prominent. Black women are hearing this for the first time. And this is when you saw women going, what is MGTOW? What is black manosphere? It was definitely blowing her sister's back out. What? He says to go delete another man over, and women can't handle rejection. That's why they don't do the approaching. And that's true. Women actually are worse off when they're rejected. They're terribly terrified of rejection. But I also think women should not approach, right? I think men should believe that women should not approach. So, because if that was the case, I tell you, man, we might think that women should be approaching men as a way to cure our own lack of wanting to get rejected. I don't think they should, because you're opening up a can of worms. You think you're mad now about the 80-20 rule? Some of y'all ninjas will never touch no punani if women are approaching. All right, it'll be a 95-5 rule overnight. 95-5. Y'all ninjas ain't never sniffing no punani ever again. Y'all would have to pay for the rest of y'all life if women were in charge of approaching the men that they wanted. Don't ever do that shit. Never give them that. Do not let them go. Do not let them take that, ninjas. Y'all gonna be angry out here. What do we got? Daylight. Well, somebody said it's basically 95-5 now. Yeah, why? Because women have dating apps. They have the ability to kind of sit at home in their bonnet with their makeup on, with their makeup off, sitting in their booty shirts, underarms smelling, and they can pick dudes and shop for them. That's a form of women being able to have access at something approaching who they want. If they were just in charge of just approaching who they wanted, it would be a wrap. There'd be like 15 dudes getting punani. The rest of everybody would be out. Out of punani. You'd have to buy. All right. Daylight says, Coach, do you know that there is a group of black quangs as we call them, wishing for the deletion of Jamie Foxx because he dated white women in the past? He says, at first, when somebody told me, he says to go delete another man over, and women can't handle rejection. That's why they don't do the approaching. And that's true. Women actually are worse off when they're rejected. They're terribly terrified of rejection. But I also think women should not approach, right? I think men should believe that women should not approach. So, because if that was the case, I tell you, man, we might think that women should be approaching men as a way to cure our own lack of wanting to get rejected. I don't think they should, because you're opening up a can of worms. You think you're mad now about the 80-20 rule? Some of y'all ninjas will never touch no punani if women are approaching. All right, it'll be a 95-5 rule overnight. 95-5. Y'all ninjas ain't never sniffing no punani ever again. Y'all would have to pay for the rest of y'all life if women were in charge of approaching the men that they wanted. Don't ever do that shit. Never give them that, dude. Do not let them go. Do not let them take that, ninjas. Y'all gonna be angry out here. What do we got? Daylight. Well, somebody said it's basically 95-5 now. Yeah, why? Because women have dating apps. They have the ability to kind of sit at home in their bonnet with their makeup on, with their makeup off, sitting in their booty shirts, underarms smelling, and they can pick dudes and shop for them. That's a form of women being able to have access at something approaching who they want.
The 66, are you happy with 60? You didn't make 66, bitch. You made 63 million. Matter of fact, little whore.
Sitting down begging, y'all don't hear me? Think about I'm a grown-ass nigga. Got old kids, and I'm up here just a begging. Yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir, boss. I'm sorry, boss. Yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir, boss. I'm sorry, boss. Sorry, I said something, boss. Sorry, I didn't really say anything, but I got too close. Sorry, boss. Sorry, boss. You want to talk about white people?
She packed up 50 boxes, took my daughter. I was actually working on a movie in New Jersey, which is now called Rogue Hostage. I left New Jersey on a Friday. I left the movie set about 3 hours early, and they threatened to sue me for like $400,000 because I had more work to do on the movie set and I wasn't supposed to leave. But I was like, nah, she on the phone, she claiming I'm out of here, I'm done. But I was like, you know what? This could be a woman that's yelling and screaming and she's in her feelings, because sometimes we say things that we don't mean when we're mad. I was in New Jersey with a guy.
I have as much experience in the Congress as Jack Kennedy did when he sought the presidency. I will be prepared to deal with the people in the Bush administration if that unfortunate event would ever occur.
Senator Benson?
Senator, I served with Jack Kennedy. I knew Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy was a friend of mine. Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy.
We're just now gaining traction to what? The mainstream? But the people of as of late in the last 3 years, they're not the best at this. Trust me. There's a dude in the basement in Columbus, Ohio, smoking cigarettes that'll run circles around everybody in this building. Every single one of us. All right, anyway. Jones G, let's get this. I'm not the best at this. Now I'll say I'm the king of content, but with this being said, there are people in the comment section with no channel that'll clean my clock in this red pill stuff. And every one of your godfathers and king of kings and every one of your people, just because they had big numbers and big viewings and big super chats, don't mean they the best in this. And I will continue to say that, and there is no hate, because even I will have to bow down to some people that have been through some shit, and they just because it ain't gonna work. They're already immune to game. Wait, and then build yourself up. By the time you turn 30, go back to Gen Alpha. By the time they 21, you in the building. You in there. What is the other thing that I tell you? He said, Coach, they won't listen to emotional. Exactly. They won't listen. Y'all trying to make y'all trying to make it work, and it ain't gonna work. Let me see here. Yep, somebody said next 2 generations. The next 2 generations are yours. I'm Gen X. I'm not a boomer, despite the fact that I have a gray beard. I am Gen X. I be hanging out with young millennials and Gen Z, which are 2 generations removed. That's where I be experienced the most success. Why would I hang around banging on Gen Xers? Why would I hang around simps and the incels and the virgins on the male Gen Z side? It's like 60% of them. 60% of the males ain't getting nothing. Why? These women are monetized. It's easy mode for them. Why would they cooperate? Why would they be feminine? Why would they take off their eyelashes? I hear their arguments, and I agree. Why would they take their extensions out? Why would they stop twerking? Why would they stop? They're winning, all right? They're winning on the avenue of monetization. Now, where they're going to lose, Ramil, where they're going to lose is if these women then say, I want to be a wife. Oh, that's where they're going to lose. It's going to be a catastrophe. In 10 years, this group of women are going to fail miserably. And they're going to be like, well, what's wrong? Gunzo. And last point. I know I said last point. The women that are monetized Gen Z today, they're not going to be monetized tomorrow. Meaning in 5 to 10 years, they're going to stop making the money. They're not going to have it. They're not going to have the pull. Kavanagh twins, Rapsky. Some of them will do okay. My advice, because people want solutions. Coach, then what are we supposed to do? What's my advice? Put it in the chat. What my advice is and what I've said specifically to you what to do. There's 2 things you can put in there that will pass. I told you specifically. I gave you explicit instructions and solutions as to what to do. What did I say? I don't just come on here and just tell you it's over. I give you explicit instructions. Well, free agent lifestyle, definitely. Yeah, the whole what's the solution? I gave you explicit. Oh, somebody just said it. Dev the Gamer. He's Gen Z. Your wife is not born yet. Exactly. I said your generation of whatever generation you're in, they're not your women. That's one of the things that I told you. So keep building, plugging away so you can get leverage and options, and then you go backwards. Then you go Gen Z to Gen Alpha. Your women are playing with Barbie dolls right now and My Little Pony, and they're playing Candy Crush or whatever the hell they're playing on the internet right now. Your women are not in your generation. If you're a Gen Z man and you're struggling, fine. Running game against these women is going to be like spring raid on cockroaches in New Orleans. It ain't going to work.
No. I love you. I mean, y'all know I'm an R&B singer, right? I'm one of the best beggars out there. I know how to beg and plead when I want something. What I wanted was my wife and my family. I've been making money all my life. I've had over 100 cars. I done been through all my jewelry and all of the mansions. I done done it on levels, man, for well over 20 years. What I ain't never had is a marriage and a family. That was more fulfilling for me than anything I've ever had, ever. I realized how empty my life was until I got married. I realized how empty my life was until I had a marriage and a family. Not having children with random women, linking up with 5, 6 different women, baby mamas, and considering that a family. Wanting to have a marriage and a family gave me a level of peace and stability. It calmed my mental health. Made me feel like I finally had something. And when you feel like you have something, you will go above and beyond to fight for it and never want to lose it. So I left my movie set. They threatened to sue. We were doing date night in LA during quarantine. Every Friday, it's still on my Instagram. I got receipts. I'm telling y'all the truth. I poured and I poured and I poured and I loved on this woman. We didn't get in no argument during quarantine. We probably had 2 disagreements in 10 months. I got back to Atlanta 6 a.m. Father's Day morning. Father's Day of all days. 2 days later. That is a very, very volatile combination of one person. You want to call me a narcissist because I'm an alpha, because I'm loud, because I'm aggressive about my career and how I hustle and do whatever it takes to get it? Or do I believe in myself? Yes, I might be loud, I might be outspoken, I may be an alpha, but I don't have a vile, malicious, evil bone in my body. Ask around. All I do is go above and beyond to love on, pour into people, take care of people. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll take the shirt off my back to go above and beyond, to love on people and pour into people. That's why people love me. And I'm asking, what did I ever say and do that can make this woman to not only leave me, but leave me as abrasively and aggressively as she did? Heartless, narcissistic, sociopathic behavior. That's what my therapist told me this is. When you're a narcissist, there's some positive in being a narcissist, because when you are a narcissist, you believe in yourself and you will stop at nothing to do whatever it takes to become successful. When you're a narcissist as a negative, everything is about you. Everywhere you go, everything you do, everything you say, you're always thinking about your own self-interest and whatever self-interest you have in mind. So you marry a singer and an entertainer, and then you end up divorcing me because I'm so focused and committed to my craft. I never cheated on you. I never met up with another woman for lunch or dinner or did anything behind your back. I never did anything. I never cheated on this woman. Y'all want to project toxic masculinity off onto me? What about toxic femininity? What about the fact that her mother has been divorced 4 times, and every time she would go to her mama's house, she was over there saying all this negative, toxic shit and ended up compromising my marriage? In the Bible, for all of the believers, it says, leave and cleave to your family and your husband. Her mother never wanted her to leave or cleave.
And here's a secret that many guys don't know, especially in today's day and age, is that women love nice guys. We may not understand how much we love and appreciate them until we're a little older, and we've gotten that sort of asshole phase out of our systems. I'd say by our late 20s, early 30s, is the point in our lives when we're just exhausted by the jerks and we have no time in our lives anymore for them. So we really start looking for men who we know will be great long-term partners, aka nice guys, right? And that's you.
By saying this, do not blame that game on the defense, okay? I don't care who you play. Whether it's a high school team, a junior college team, a college team, much less an NFL team, when you turn the ball over 5 times, 4 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown, 3 others in field position to set up touchdowns, you ain't gonna beat anybody I just talked about. Anybody. All right? And that was a disgraceful performance, in my opinion. We threw that game. We gave it away by doing that. We gave them the friggin' game. In my opinion, that sucked. You know, you can't turn the ball over 5 times like that. Holy crap. I don't know who the hell we think we are when we do something like that. Unbelievable. 5 turnovers. One of them, we've thrown 4 interceptions for touchdowns this year. That might be an NFL record. That's pitiful. I mean, it's absolutely pitiful to perform like that. Pitiful. What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.
Yeah, poor little thing's kicked out of the tree. You can come to our tree. Yeah, you come to our tree. Poor little thing. There's plenty of trees. Come on. You're a meanie.
I'm happy to see I am on to see my husband. I'm happy to see my
who are successful need to learn how to sit in their femininity when need be. But I do think also some men who are masculine do need to learn to sit in their femininity.
And
you
be
don't have to
vulnerable
be
and be empathetic
this all the time is what I'm trying to say.
No, do not be vulnerable with women. Women are not built to handle masculine problems. Being vulnerable with a woman is some of the worst advice that modern day women give to men, because if I sit there and I cry to you, oh my God, my life is hard, blah, 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 you might sit there and console me for a bit, but deep down you're like, you bitch. And you're gonna go and find someone.
That is so not true.
I know.
No, vulnerability shows
vulnerability is so powerful.
Again, this is a common example of women saying one thing but doing another. They're saying this right now because it's politically correct to say, you can cry to me, you can be vulnerable to me, etc. But deep down, if your man came to you and was crying on your shoulder saying, I don't know what's going on, her gonna dry up, she ain't gonna want with him anymore, she's gonna look for a stronger, more capable man.
Like, as women who are successful.
Right amendment, the amendment. Don't take my baby. I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. My Shayla. My Shayla.
And the nice thing about these practice katanas, oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt big time. A piece of that the tip just got me, Odell. Oh, that got me good.
You all right?
A piece of that tip just got me. Oh,
folks, right now, we may need emergency surgery in the studio.
Content creators very much thrilled, and I did a breakdown of for life. Actually been seeing content creators lately content creators very much thrilled. And I did a breakdown of the Crimson Capsule. Everybody wants the Manosphere dead. And I'm seeing even popular YouTubers who, like, they've never been married at all. Some of them have, some of them haven't. And they have a unique take about, you know, the doom and gloom CGA or the negativity. But I find it quite odd when men try to help men, give them information that they're not privy to. How much people don't like that? And these people are primarily men. I don't understand. Like if I was giving you, and listen, people were like, well, you failed, right? And you messed up and you lost. That's why you got in that situation. And I'm like, but hold up. Wouldn't you want to know, like, you're married? Have you been divorced? No. Are you married? No. Do you want to get married? Yes. Wouldn't you want to know the other side of the information? If you're trusting that, I mean, because what they're doing is they're hoping, they're using the hope strategy. Well, I hope I vet the woman properly, and I hope she loves me enough, and I hope that she doesn't do this. That's what they're doing. They're using the hope strategy. They're like, well, I'm going in and I'm going to hope, or I know better than you, or I'm going to vet, or I'll see the red flags. Trust me, guys. I'm here to tell you, I don't want to sound negative. And yes, I like women's feet.